Everybody, welcome to another episode of the Up and In Show. Unfortunately, I am not on the purple couch, but I am in Cards and Culture. And I have two special guests with me, and I appreciate it because we are on a time-sensitive crunch, and I know you guys are very, very busy. But Alex Solis and my man Nacho, thank you guys for joining us. I appreciate it.
Dude, thank you for having
us.
Yeah. So you guys are the creators, founders of the Genzee's NFTs project, right? And the Foodz collection coming up. So I'm excited to dive into this. I've been talking a lot about NFTs in the collectible space. Obviously, I have a collectible shop, and we're big into sports cards and memorabilia and vinyl art and physical art. But I've really enjoyed the way that NFTs and Web3 is innovating in the art sense. So why don't you, Alex, maybe introduce yourself and a little bit about the Genzee's NFTs project and let our listeners know about what you guys are working on.
Oh, for sure. My name's Alex Solis. I go by Alexmdc on socials. I actually entered the NFT space heavily because of designer figures. So I've been doing designer toys for a decade pretty much now. I've been working with a lot of big brands like Kid Robot, Mighty Jaxx, and I started venturing into doing a lot of this designer figures myself. And I started seeing how NFT works, speaking with a lot of fellow artists like Beeple, Gondek, like a few people that were already involved in the designer toy space as well, and just seeing how I could evolve my brand into bringing Web3, just because I feel like if you're not there, you might miss out. But I didn't want to leave all this physicals behind or the art, so I saw NFT as a way to kind of open it for the investors and collectors to also be able to retain more of the rights and profits. And I feel like it goes hand in hand with designer toy world, where with NFTs now, the collectors kind of there's a connection there where you can continue to make profit, you could continue to flip the stuff. There's more opportunities where with our universe we're bringing in you're gonna be able to feed your collector Genzee already, and then create a chunky, which is part of a series I have called Famous Junkies that kind of went viral over the years. And I think this way we could just bring it in where it's not just like the artists and the initial investors making profit, but also it brings all these opportunities for the collectors to get more involved with the artists, just get more involved in the space, and essentially become not just an investor or a collector, but just a part of the projects and get just more involved with everything that we're doing. So just exciting for NFT space to for us to be able to bring our collectors with us in our projects and give value back to our community. So
yeah, no, I love what you guys are doing. And I was a fan of your, I guess we could say it in the Web 2 world, right? And like the way that you built that brand, and you, like you said, you went viral with the Chunkies. My business partner Vito has been a big fan of your art, and you inspire him a lot. So it was pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool to kind of see it all come together. And that's why we kind of went heavy into the NFT project. And when I heard that you had a project, we really wanted to dive in. And then obviously add into the layers of Nacho and your guys' relationship and some of the things you guys are doing with animation. I feel like it was a no-brainer. So maybe you guys can talk about Nacho, a little bit about your background and how you met Alex and how you guys started this project together.
Yeah, I actually met Alex on my very first days as an illustrator. My times designing t-shirts, because he was probably the most important artist on Threadless. So he was like the reference for most artists there. So yeah, I met him there, and from there I just kept designing. I was lucky to have a big following too, because I was able to have some viral collections too. I used that chance to build bigger stuff. I just tried to create foundations, because I see online following as something super fragile, and the current situation of Instagram actually give me that I was right about that. So I also launched retail stores with my brand. I just wanted to, I always wanted to dive into animation. I used COVID as an opportunity to go all in with it. I was creating animation for a while. I created some animations with Alex too. We used to collaborate from time to time. And with COVID, I just used the chance to go all in with that. I built my own studio. I did animations for a lot of bigger brands like Netflix, PlayStation, and yeah, once you get there, the next logical step is I have the following. Why I'm not creating that stuff for myself? Yes. And that's where NFTs and Web3 comes in, and it just creates the right environment to create that, and that's what Foodz is. I just didn't want to create a silly something super fast and a copycat of something that already existed. That I wanted to create something. I now regret that, but I wanted to create something super hard to create, something complex, something that it was going to be challenging for me. Not something that, I mean, you can create a collection in days if you are not ambitious about that. But we have been developing this, and I have a big team, and we have been developing this for months already. So this is something different. It's not the usual collection that you see in the space. So yeah, I feel that in that sense, I did what I was aiming to. I just look like I've been working too much. So
well, you have, it's understandable.
Yeah. So I'm just happy to be able to finally share it with the community, because I mean, having them is amazing. They are super enthusiastic about the art. So yeah, that's super a great experience. Yeah.
Me too, man. And this is, I love hearing this, because to me, this is what Web3 is about, right? Is you had admiration for somebody, you guys collaborated, you guys might have known each other's work. You're in Spain, it's 8 p.m. over there, and you guys are collaborating on a project, right? And we're doing a podcast in America, like all these different things. And we're all part of this community together, and we all have the same interest in mind, right? Like whether it's me investing in and supporting you guys, or being appreciative of your art, or seeing the vision and having it grow. This is what I love about Web3 is being able to connect these dots and tell these stories together too. So I'm excited about tomorrow. So why don't you tell everybody a little bit about what you've been working on so hard, right? So maybe, I don't know, so some of the listeners, NFTs might be a little new. So maybe you guys could explain a little bit about Genzee's, and then about the Foodz collection as well. So that way they know kind of the distinction and then how they blend together.
Okay. All right. I mean, I could take it off, since I initially kind of started Genzee on my own. Then I started talking to Nacho, just because I did a bunch of projects with them, and just bouncing ideas with artists that are pretty good in the space and know a lot more. Like you could pick stuff up a lot faster. So I showed Nacho kind of what I was working on, and immediately he helped me level this thing up. Where he was like, we should try this, we should try that. We started developing a video game for Genzee. Nice. I had collaborated with Nacho before on a project for Tekashi 6ix9ine, which was the animated shark that's shown in a lot of the videos. I don't know if a lot of the intro videos. So we were able to do this so quickly. So that's why I was like, yes, Nacho, I know how he works. I know where his passion is, his goals. So I was like, definitely, I need to have Nacho working with us on Genzee. So I think without Nacho, Genzee would have been a lot harder to launch, but he was able to help me level this up very quickly. And so for Genzee, again, Genzee was more based on like pushing and leveling up the brand and connecting all this physicals with NFTs. So with Genzee, we wanted to bring not just a video game and a way to earn this token where you will be able to like buy all the physicals. So it's a way to kind of, you invest into Genzee, then you pretty much get the physicals for free. You enter this exclusive brand that you're able to like buy all this stuff just from being an investor. And the way you get the token is simply by holding the Genzee. You hold the Genzee, you accumulate this token, then you're able to redeem it for the physicals that I was selling out before, but now you're part of this community that our goal is more to build this community and make sure we integrate into this Web3. And it's not, if I know a lot of people that are not familiar with the space are like, what the heck is this? But honestly, Web2 and Web3 are kind of similar. You just got to get involved in the space and buy one of the Genzees. We do a lot of giveaways too. If you follow us, you could try to win one so you don't just kind of get more familiar with the space. And once we started bringing in Nacho's work, we couldn't just launch everything with, he has his own following, he had his own stores. we wanted to make sure that we had a full collection where we have this full other goal for it. So with the Foodz one, we have a whole animated studio being developed.
Nice.
And the reason we brought it in the Genzee universe was just because there's so much going on in this space right now that we wanted to keep everything together, have a few things that work together. So with the Foodz, you'll be able to accumulate this token as well, be able to redeem all these physicals, but at the same time be a part of this studio that we're developing and be a part of all this animations. And eventually we want the community to be involved in what we're doing, with not just being a part of an investor, but be involved in possibly being able to direct where we take the stories, where we take this animations. And Nacho could talk a little bit more about the food, since a lot of it's more Nacho for food. So
I mean, Foodz is also you were telling about why it's Foodz that challenging. It's that challenging because we are not really creating a collection. That's more like 8 collections in one.
Right.
I probably didn't expect some of the roadblocks that we were to find in it, because for example, there are 20 animation traits, different animations, and I felt that was interesting enough. But when you start doing that, you soon realize why other people are not doing that. It's super complex to make an animation work for a different bodies, such different bodies that like the ones that I work with. So if we have 20 animation traits, we have to redo those 160 times.
Oh my God, yeah.
This is on crazy levels of, and also when you do something 160 times, the review of that is way longer. So the scale of it is just exponential. But the reason why I try to do probably things that I'm not ready to do when I start with it, is because by the time that you finish that, you are ready to do much bigger things. And I was creating already animation for companies before, and we have as a goal to create shows, but in order to do that in a successful way in the space, you need to do that well and fast. And that's something that we are ready now, thanks to Food, because we were able to build that structure I mean, we are now able to review a lot of work and to create a really effective pipeline in order to create complex stuff. And that's only because we approached something that much bigger than it was needed even. Like, I don't think that you need to make it so complex, but we could do it. So that's why we do that. And that's,
you're showing off your capabilities.
Yeah, I mean that. You challenge yourself, or either you are going to stagnate in your art. So you need to challenge yourself and try to do things that you are not sure if you are going to be able to do that. Because the only reason why the only way that you know that you are not going to be able to do that is if you don't try. That's so. Right. I didn't find a project that in my ways I said that I wasn't able to do that. It's just a matter of sleeping less, and here I am. So.
Well, I'm happy you're here. I'm happy you've pushed through this stuff, because I'm very biased, but I think it's why I'm such a big investor into the project. I'm excited just to see what you guys develop from this, how the market responds to it too, right? I'm excited to see what people jump on board. I know we've had a huge jump when you guys released that trailer out there over the last couple of weeks, leading up to this. So I'm excited. And I think the thing that's so exciting too, Alex, that you said is with our shop here, with the collectible space, when I first was introduced to NFTs and that technology, kind of what you guys are doing with, I don't know if you call it, is it OddX or ODDX?
It's OddWorks. Yeah.
OddWorks. Yep. That's kind of the model that we saw NFTs taking in our shop, right? Is eventually someday I could see, there being a unified currency for collectors that you can use in a shop, and things like that. So That's why I was like, when this project had those capabilities and would lay the groundwork for that, I wanted to jump into it, understand it, kind of see how you guys were doing it. And then when I found out about Foodz and saw this stuff, my brain just started going. So what are the big plans with the Foodz project and Genzee's as a whole? So that way, anybody that's thinking about investing or wants to come on board or jump in kind of has an understanding from the founders of the vision and the direction that you guys are looking to take this.
Yeah, for sure. To simplify it, I don't want to there's a lot more to it, but really with Genzee, the main goal is to just create the biggest projects we can and being able to shift it where it's not just like the value is now within our community. So all our collectors could take advantage of being able to profit from us doing big projects, being a part of our projects, not just being a part of it, but being kind of an owner to all the projects we push going forward. I mean, I could tie it back to your store where you could simply do it where any collector that buys your stuff, the receipt they get is an NFT, and that way you could continue to build this connection with the collectors in the future. Where before, when I was selling a lot of my designer figures, even though they were doing really good, like you'll sell out. One of the last projects I did was the Pooh physicals.
Yeah,
it sold out literally in like minutes. But after that, it's like the connection's lost with, I guess you would say like Web 2, like
right.
They take their figure, it's lost, you don't know where it goes. Whereas in Web 3, it's just an easier way to continue to trade and collect and see firsthand the profit and value of your collectibles that you get. It's just a lot easier, and you're able to continue to have that connection directly with the artists, with the founders of whatever project you're doing. And it's not just yourself trading anymore or being a part of, you just have one of your bear bricks. Now you're part of this community where you could work together, bounce ideas with different collectors that are part of the same projects you are. So that's one of the biggest things for me that I see with Web3 is just being part of communities that you could trade, continue to evolve, and it just moves a lot faster. Again, tying it to physicals is huge for me. I think that's one of the biggest things. So with Genzee, I'm trying to continue to tie with physicals, and not just with like smaller projects, but hopefully doing some giant statues, continuing to evolve. And now I feel like it's not just me working, it's me and a whole community pushing these projects and brands together. And for Foodz, being able to generate the main goal of having animations and shows that hopefully are household names in the future, where people could be like, oh, I own part of this animation. We hopefully want to break out of this NFT space as well. We don't want to confine ourselves to being in the NFT world. I come from the designer figure community. Nacho comes a lot from working with bigger brands, and we want to be able to grow this outside of NFTs, where hopefully we'll see this on a bigger streaming platform in the future, or just regular commercials or whatever. And we want people to be like, hey, I'm an owner, I'm part of this. And not just by saying it, but they could also be able to profit from it, being able to like sell their collectibles. And as we grow, we want our community to grow with us. So
that's kind of the way that I see it from an investor standpoint, right? Is I saw this project and I thought the Genzee's was unique. It was interesting. I love the way that you kind of blended PFPs with 3D a little bit too, you know, and then like I said, I knew your background with physical designing toys and things like that, and figures and art that way. But I like, you know, the way that I won that one of the one-of-ones and the auction. But like I think that continues to drive value, and where the investors get to connect with the community, right? Like it's almost like a healthy competition with the other people that are in the Discord, you know. But also I want to support the artists and support the founders who are, you know, busting their asses and doing things for us, you know. Hopefully, like I hear your guys' vision, and I know as a business owner and a founder too, right? There's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes that people don't get to see every single day. So yeah, I think that's the fun part, is like you guys have built a community, and that's the good thing about Web3 is in ways that they can support you, and you can always drive value back to them, right? By creating events or adding layers to the smart contract or adding things into the contract or in real life events or in real life physical assets. And that's to me is the fun part. And then, like I said, I saw the vision. I can definitely see Foodz being its own, some sort of streaming thing, you know, or animation series and stuff. So that's why I was excited to just understand where that was going and, you know, just understand the animation side. And I think the community being involved would be really fun too, because if they can have some sort of influence in the storytelling part of it, that's where I think you guys will see, you know, tremendous value too.
Yeah, for sure. So not just the stories, but we want to be able to bring that community to other projects. So again, like the chunkies we're working on, I'm hoping to slowly start brainstorming with the community, see what people want, right? Versus just me like, here you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though we do have I feel like we have a strong vision of where we want to take it. We also do want to have the community partake in the stuff we do and where we go with the brand, not just from live events, but also we're hoping to push a lot of airdrops and other NFT projects where we're giving pretty much airdrops to our community where they kind of hold the value. They determine how much stuff is. For example, the Golden Pass where we started dropping it, that was pretty much free for them, for our community through the Alex token. They were able to flip it. They're able to determine the value and they hold the value. It's no longer just us trying to sell something. Now is the community profiting and selling for us, and not just selling for us, but continue to spread the message and the word of just what we're doing here, and hopefully being able to bring more eyes into our projects. And honestly, for me, my goal is just to continue to do bigger projects, giant statues, bigger shows, and just driving the art. We want to make sure that art is the main focus and continue to drive this projects bigger and bigger and see where we go from there.
That's exactly why we work so well together, because I mean, while developing Foodz and even before, I obviously got offers to drop a collection in some places, but that was all. That it was just about dropping something and that's it. And that doesn't interest me. I just wanted dropping on with Genzee and make it a part of the Genzee universe was meant that this was part of something much bigger, because we think similar, and we just see how we can use this to keep building bigger and bigger and bigger, as we have been doing for the last, I don't know, 13 years in my case. I don't know about Alex, probably a bit more, but yeah, so that's something more, not just this. That this is probably was happening with many collections that are so focused on dropping, and we will see afterwards. But we have actually what we have planned for later is more important. Obviously, this needs to happen in order to make the next steps. But this is interesting because it's part of a bigger thing, not just this, not just a drop.
That's what I think. That's what's so exciting to me, right? Is I in my head, every time I see, you know, interact with you guys, I see new drops, new information. I'm like, I don't understand how this, you know, isn't a bigger project right now. But it's honestly, I think it's from your guys' energy and history too, of like, hey guys, look at our body of work and look what we're building, right? This is built for the future. This is built to last. We're doing things way bigger than just this moment. And that's what I've always felt from you guys. It didn't feel like buy now and shilling, right? And like, hey, we have to buy something now. It's like you're buying into a whole ecosystem that's way bigger than just this moment, where we're experiencing NFTs and a new technology, right? So, and that's the thing, that you guys have the track record, the art background. And that was one of the things that fascinates me so much, is the history that you guys put up, and it allows me to feel confident as an investor, right? That something's going to come together in the future.
No, and that's a huge thing with NFTs right now. There's just so much going on. There's so many, unfortunately, scams and people taking advantage of what's going on. There's a recent project, some bunny project, that they had all this influencers, all these celebrities talk about it. So just pushing the marketing, but without having a team, and they rug pulled it. So I think it's important for people to even invest in stuff that they're familiar with, the teams they know, or do a little homework before you jump in this project. So it's so new still that unfortunately, there is a lot of people that are just taking advantage of how new it is, and how investors are so eager to jump in projects just because they feel they will flip it. And without knowing what's the project is, where it's going, what the intentions are. But yeah,
knowing the team too, right? That was, sorry to interrupt you, but that's why I think it was so important for me. I wanted to get you guys on camera, put some marketing material together. I think that's awesome that you guys are letting everybody know who's behind the project, what you guys are doing, and I think if people know the art, and this is my personal experience, but I buy a lot of art and I enjoy art, and it's more about the storytelling or the history behind it with the artist, and so maybe who inspired them, their early pieces. Maybe I fell in love with something 4 or 5 years ago and now they're reinventing themselves in Web3, like all of that different stuff. I think that plays a huge role in investing and then confidence in your community.
No, 100%. And same with me. I try to go into different projects more. I support a lot of projects if I know the artist, if I know the team, if I know where it's going. Because there's so many happening right now. There's probably like 10 projects a day dropping that are most likely is not real, or and unfortunately it's just because it's so new. I feel like the space will eventually mature and get to a place where hopefully we don't get so many fake projects and scams and crap that kind of pushes a lot of early investors away, even though it's growing extremely fast and rapidly. Like definitely, again, like you said, I think it is about storytelling. I think it takes time to grow and create this brand. So I know a lot of people jump into projects just because they see, this has like 500,000 followers in the day, but that's very easy to generate nowadays.
That was the internet in the early days. Like people were scared about it because there were so many scams, and that's always going to happen with a new technology. And I see NFTs as a new breakout, the same as internet back then in the 90s. Probably. So yeah, probably some people are going to take advantage of that new technology in a bad way. But I feel that real projects with real backing and real people behind it are going to survive this noisy situation that it is now, for sure. Some people are going to fall for the people that don't really investigate behind the projects are going to fall for some scams. But yeah, I mean that you just need to be careful and try to treat this as an investment the same way that you would do in another environment other than that Web3.
Yep. And I always say the good will win over time, right? So it's like the good people that are, whether that's good people or good creators, good project managers, whatever it is, right? Over time, you'll see like where the winners are going to be. So
for sure.
Yeah, you guys just keep doing your thing. But I know you guys are busy. We're going to wrap this up in a couple minutes. But before I let you guys go, I think it would be really cool, personally, but also from our listener standpoint, I would love to ask you guys 2 questions. I guess kind of the first one that I would ask is, who are some of the early, like when you guys first got into art and design and all these different things, who were the people that inspired you to kind of start your journey? And keep it going? And then who would be an artist or a creator or a group or brand or something that you would love to work with in the future, like all-time goals, like highest of the high? Actually,
I already replied to that, because for real, Alex was my icon. My icon when I was starting. He knows this, and yeah, he was my reference back then. He had a lot of what I admire in art, because I didn't study art at first, so I was probably a little bit lost, like most people probably. And yeah, he was probably one of my biggest reference.
I love that. I remember seeing that, honestly. Like, I think, Nacho, you might have tweeted it or put it in a Discord or something like that. And I remember seeing that and being like, that was a huge reason that I also invested in, that I'm such a believer, is there's admiration, there's respect, there's appreciation, right? And to me, as in a partnership, like to feel that as an investor, is you guys have done an incredible job. So that's pretty cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I mean, for me, I started very young. I've been doing art all my life. I followed like Alex Pardee. I follow Cause, James Jean, a few other artists that I would always hit up. Like just to get, I actually got Alex Pardee to do one of the Genzees with us. He did one of the super rares.
Yes, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm lucky enough that now, as I've been so involved in the space for so long, I connected with a lot of the artists I actually looked up to and followed. So cool.
That's my journey too, man. I've looked up to you guys, and like now I'm sitting here, you guys are on my podcast, right? So that's why Alex Hardy is a huge artist that I love to support too. So I think that's the community that we're building here, and I think it's cool to see, like, you know, it's coming full circle, and you guys are doing a great job and everything you guys are doing too. So really cool.
Thank you
so much.
Yeah. Well, good stuff. You know, Nacho, I know we got a big day tomorrow, so I don't know what the time difference is there and when it'll release your time, but I want to let you get back to work and all that stuff. So
yeah, I'm going to back to work, but the time is actually good because I live now in the US time. Because,
okay. Exactly.
So
yeah.
That's okay. Yeah.
Well, good. Let everybody know where they can find, you know, the food party, where they can find you guys, reach out to you guys. What would be the best way to communicate with you guys?
Right now, if you look up Foodz with the Z party.com, it should have all the information on there. It also has links to our Genzee NFTs. But yeah, it's all on there on the website.
Good stuff.
Cool.
Yeah, and full disclosure, guys, I am a big investor, and I think I hold about 30 Genzees. So
thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Well, I just have to say it to my follower, you know, subscribers, so they know that I have an interest in this as well, right? Like I don't want it to be misleading in any way, but I'm a big fan of the project, and so I'm happy to have you guys on and tell your guys' stories. So and share this stuff with everybody, and hopefully the community continues to grow. And again, thank you guys so much for the time. Appreciate it.
Oh yeah, dude. Thank you so much. Hopefully we can make it out to your shop in the future. So.
I would love it. And any figures you want to sell in here, please send them my way. I'll buy some from you. I'll sell them in here.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, it'll be awesome. Yeah, anything you want to offload, I would love to have a collection of yours in here. That would be really cool.
Sounds good, man. Well, keep up. Thank you.
All right, boys. Have a great day. We'll talk soon.